What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, try to hold myself to a high standard, and when I get it wrong, I will admit it and admit it as loudly as I said it. So, yesterday in my live stream, I was incorrect in what I said around Katie Lou Samuelson's buyout with the Indiana Fever. I said that it would not count against the salary cap for the Indiana Fever. It does. It just doesn't fully count against the Indiana Fever's cap space. Now, in this video, I'm going to set the record straight with all of the actual facts that we know. So stick around. So Katie Lou Samuelson and the Indiana Fever agreed to a contract buyout, aka a contract divorce, which was announced yesterday. So this means that she is no longer on the roster, but that Indiana still has to pay her a portion of her 2025 guaranteed salary. So according to Richard Cohen of Her Hoop Stats, the agreed upon buyout amount is her full salary minus the veteran minimum plus an additional $5,000 per the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement. So instead of making a guaranteed $180K for 2025, the buyout gives Katie Lou Samuelson a check of around $106,000. Specifically, it's $106,419. Now, a thing to note is that Katie Lou Samuelson is on waivers for 5 days, meaning that any team can claim her within those 5 days. But if they do, they're going to have to pay her full contract, which seems highly unlikely because we do know that normally teams would try to trade a player before a contract divorce, and clearly people weren't interested in a trade. And so because of that, and because of how high Katie Lou Samuelson's contract is, I don't anticipate a team picking her up within this 5-day span. So if someone claims her would want to pick her up within these 5 days, they would have to pay the full $180K and the Fever off the hook. But again, that is highly, highly unlikely. If she does clear waivers after that 5 days, she will become a free agent, which means that she could sign with any team that she wants for as little as the veteran minimum. So, yeah. So if the team signs her after she's cleared waivers, then they can pay her whatever. Well, as little as the veteran minimum, which is around $78,000, which seems a lot more likely for a player like Katie Lou Samuelson. So, it does seem that as of right now, the Indiana Fever will likely be paying Katie Lou Samuelson more than whatever team picks her up. Now, is that a guarantee? No, that's speculation. But what's safe to say is that this does impact the Indiana Fever salary cap. So let's specifically talk about that. So after the buyout, Indiana has around $117K in cap space, and they also have 2 open roster spots because right now they have a roster of 10, not including their training camp contract, because training camp contracts do not count against the salary cap just yet. It counts once the player has actually made the team. So yeah, that's something to note. So they have 10 spots right now, not including that one training camp contract that they have. And the Indiana Fever, with that $117K left, it's enough to get a pretty decent veteran to join your team. It's not enough to get 2 players to join your team at the start of the season. So they got money, just not enough. Because if the team wanted to sign 2 players for those 2 remaining spots on opening day, it would cost $132,000 at a minimum, because even if they got 2 rookies from this year's draft, even if they got 2 rookies in, both rookies on a minimum salary contract, both rookies, let's just say, that weren't drafted, their max, or the amount that the Indiana Fever will have to pay them is $66,000. That is the minimum salary for players with 0 to 2 years of experience in the W is $66,000. So even if you got 2 of those players on opening day, that's $132,000. So the Fever don't have that money. Again, they have $112K left. And that means that the Fever will likely just make one more move and get maybe a veteran player. That's speculation, but they don't have room for two players. That's a fact. They don't have room for two players at the start of the season. They likely will just bring in one more player to kind of help even out their roster. And so they'll start off the season likely with 11 players instead of having 12 players on the roster. Now, a thing to note is that as the season goes on, the minimum salaries are prorated. So that means that if the Indiana Fever wait a while, they could be able to sign that 12th player later in the season. So they can sign someone later and have the cap space to do so if they wait long enough. So that's all we know as of right now. Guys, again, I do want to apologize for my error yesterday. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, and I know that the trust that you all have in me and in what I say. And so when I get it wrong, hey, I got to be as loud as I was when I said what I said. Because yes, I am a random person on the internet. I'm very, very random. However, I hold myself to a very high standard because I don't. Now, while I know I'm random, I don't hold myself to the same standard that everybody that I see other people who just make content do. I try my best and hold myself to that of like a reporter, even though I'm not a reporter. But like that's how like specific and focused I am on like actually giving you all facts and making sure that you all understand what facts are besides like instead of just like my speculation and whatnot. And I was wrong in the delivery of my facts yesterday, and so I want to be open about that. I do apologize. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for people when you get stuff wrong to not just gloss over it and be like, whatever, it doesn't matter, because it does. It does. It really, really does. And so thank you for watching. Thank you for rocking with me. If you decide that you don't want to watch this channel anymore, that's fine. Understand. But again, I'm human. I'm a person, and I get stuff wrong. Is that okay? No. But ultimately, when I do, I'll fess up to it. So anyway, do with that what you will. Now you know the facts around Katie Lou Samuelson. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And I will see y'all in the next one. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.